Thanks for listening to the AZ12 podcast. I am your host, Mike Luke, joined by Jason Shear. You all know the drill. You guys did very, very good work yesterday, or last week with Little Caesars. Let's keep it up. AZ12 podcast, fit code 15 off 20, 15% off any $20 or more purchase code LCFREECC. All right. We got a lot to get to this show. We're going to talk Arizona, Iowa State. We're going to talk a little bit about, what are we going to talk? What should we talk about here? We're going to talk
about
a
very important question for you.
Arizona basketball schedule. We are going to talk about matchups. We are going to talk about Mike Gundy. We are going to talk a lot of stuff. But what do you got first, Shear? Talk to me.
Are we of the belief that once the Oklahoma State Arizona kickoff time was announced?
Yeah, it was done. It was done. We broke Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State said we cannot do this.
Yeah, no, we can't do this. We got to have a change of direction. Arizona broke Oklahoma State. Again, before shots were fired. It's honestly, it's getting kind of comical at this point what Arizona is doing to so many teams. You get teams that are just looking out there like, man, crap, we better just fire our coach. We have no chance going into this one. And
there's a national fear of Arizona, and I would dare anyone to prove me wrong.
Yes, no, I would agree with that. Yeah, Bear Down Cast 96 puts it very well, and I think you should do this. Tweet that and make ASU fans go nuts. Yes, exactly. We broke two teams in 1 week. That's what we've done. We've ended two coaches' careers in a matter of 24 hours. That's what we do around here. All right. So
I'm gonna tweet that actually. One day after Bruce Pearl retires to avoid Arizona, Oklahoma State fires Mike Gundy.
Right.
To avoid Arizona. You do the math.
Yeah, you do the math on this one. Can Kenny Dillingham be far behind? Just putting it. That would really get him pissed off. All right, so we got a lot to get to the show. By the way, Joseph is full of crap. First of all, I asked Joseph because Shear has to get off at 11:10 or so. And I asked Joseph if he'd like to hop on, but then I thought better of it, and I asked Mr. Tyler Warden, who's much, much better than Joseph. Very excited. Mr. Tyler Warden's going to sail us into the harbor. Very, very excited about this. So we got a lot to get to here. By the way, Joseph's full of it. You all were only 17 minutes or 16 minutes in debt. Excuse me. No, you weren't. I sent them both at the same exact time.
No, Tyler Warden. You're always the number one.
Yeah. We have not offered Joseph a spot at AZ12 prep, and we never will get a spot at AZ12 prep. Yes. I basically put them both out there, and whoever was the first answer. You were the first answer. You are better anyways. Okay. Now, all right. So let's get to, do you want to talk, I guess we'll talk Mike Van Gundy real quick. So he's
Mike Van Gundy. That was good. That's a good one.
Or Mike Gundy. Yeah. We'll talk about Mike Gundy here for a second. I like Mike Gundy. I think he's a good coach, but man, this thing is, sometimes things just reach the end. That one reached its end. That's where we're at this point.
Yeah. This is another example of my theory. Like Mike Gundy's a good football coach.
He is.
He's been too successful for him, and he didn't just stop learning how to coach football.
Right.
I just think that eventually things kind of come to a head. Like, again, unless you're an elite coach, the time just kind of runs out. And that's what Gundy did. And Gundy will take a few years off. Someone will hire him, and he'll probably be pretty successul there.
He'll probably be great in the pro. I could absolutely see him being very, very good. Adaptable Fox, thoughts are with you, my man. I would just say that I think that if I were UCLA, I would hire him. How about that? Does that make any sense?
Yeah, I wouldn't, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, I think you could do a lot worse than hiring him. So
I think if I'm Mike Gundy, I'm 100% going into TV immediately.
Right.
Because I think he'd be really good on TV.
Yeah, I think he would be naturally done. I don't think he's done coaching. We shall we shall see on that. Now, Gundy, the next Washington. Interesting.
Jed Fish's replacement. I
was going to say Jed Fish to Oklahoma State. We should just say that we saw Jed and
Their I assume their list is Colin Klein. You know who went there, played there, is the Falcons OC. Zach Robinson. He should be number one, I'd assume.
Interesting. All right, so we shall see.
All
right,
now let's Kobe Thiel, because then Algier could just get the carries he deserves.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, did you see that Kobe Thiel is now hosting his own MySpace, or is not MySpace, is his own show or whatever?
Yeah, basically our enemy.
Yeah, that's a good point about the self-care, Dennis Walsh. Yes. Anybody that always says that they need to focus on self-care because they're doing too much for the other people generally isn't doing. I'm just saying in general, they're they're generally not doing stuff for other people. They're generally just selfish.
Mike, Shelby just texted me. I know we kind of hinted at this before, but since we're talking about Oklahoma State, do you want to give everyone?
Yeah, you got the ins and outs on this a little bit more. This is Shelby. Shelby found this for us, so I will let you describe.
So again, as you guys know, the Bear Down Bash, they do on Bear Down Field outside of the stadium. They have a pregame where they'll have bands and stuff like that. Me and Mike, we're doing a half an hour or so show in the morning. Mm-hmm. Some of you are gonna have to wake up. I know Joseph, you should be there. You're gonna have to leave your house, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah. Joseph ain't leaving his house.
But we're gonna host a show. We don't know the full details yet, and if we're like interviewing anyone or anything like that. But they're putting Mike and I on a big stage in front of a lot of people. So we want you all to get down there. We'll have more details about the time and all that. So tailgate, you know.
We're going to be we'll be sending a tweet out about this. If we could get we need a couple, I think we need a couple like maybe images or graphics. Yeah. But yeah, we're very excited. We're very excited about this. We're going to be we'll be signing autographs. We'll be dodging.
I will sign. I'm willing to sign breasts. If that's what it takes.
Who was the guy that was it Bush when they like the Iraqi? Yeah, it was Bush when the Iraqi guy threw the shoe at him or whatever. Yeah. I got to give Bush on credit on that one. That was quick.
A slick move, dude. One little movement to the left.
Yeah.
And then he said, missed me.
Yeah, that was – maybe I will bring some Little Caesars out there. I don't know. I think that will – you know what? I should go pick up some Little Caesars using code LCFREECC.
Yeah, and just like hand it out.
Maybe we could hand them out. Yeah, so it's going to be that'd be fun.
It's going to be fun. We're excited.
Okay, so all right. So yeah, we are very much excited for it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Mike needs to be on a shoe watch from Rich. Oh, can you imagine if Rich showed up? That'd be great.
Oh, that's a good one too. Chief will be there. Rich will be. I mean, we should just party.
Yeah, no, I like Chief now. We're cool. So yeah. All right. So, anyways, yeah. All right. So, now Mr. Tyler Warden's going to be joining us. He's very, very good. Now, all right. So, I will say maybe I will get some Little Caesars. We'll see. What time we're going to be there? 9:30. What time is that?
I don't know. I think it's pending like 9 a.m. because it's a 12 o'clock game, and I know that sounds early, and it is early, which is why we're going to push it a little bit more. But remember, like if it was a normal time game, it'd be 4 o'clock. It'd be awesome. But we got to get people out there. It's going to be hopping. The red and blue games the night before. Yeah. We need all the kids. If you haven't seen Mike in person, he's actually 6'3". The only way to prove it is to see him in person.
It's to see me in person. Yeah, exactly. And all you Gen and it's not early for me, Joseph. All right, all you Gen Zers out there, maybe show up and we can all interface together. That'll be fun.
A lot of interfacing.
A lot of interfacing. We need Ben One White to show up.
That's a good. Wow. Can you imagine?
Yeah, Ben One White shows up. Yes. So yeah, that would be, that would be, very, very excited about that. Will MNFL be said? Absolutely. You let me know what you want said and I will say it. Boom. All right. Now, all right. So let's,
that's a good idea.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's so good. That is a good, the wanted posters. All right. So let's talk about Arizona, Iowa State first, and then we're going to get into Arizona basketball schedule. It's good. Just so everybody out there knows, it is good. All right. Arizona, Iowa State. David Gearhart. He does good. He does very good stuff on it. It's a great name. I think he's a bicyclist too. That's a great name for a bicyclist. Gearhart. Doesn't that just kind of like,
I don't know how to ride a bike. So.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me in the least. Okay. So keys to beating. Dude, you're maybe the most unathletic person I've ever come across here.
That's not true. I used to be very athletic.
No. Sheer, you can't walk a quarter mile, Sheer.
That's not true either. You said it was, and then in Seattle, you even turned to me like,
I give you credit because, dude, I live right by the U of A, and you're like, dude, I want to get an Uber. I can barely make this walk. And even Ben One White is like, Sheer, you're 40, not 140.
No, my back has I have big back issues. So I have good days and bad days.
All right. Well, either way. Okay. So, all right. So, anyways, David Gearhart. So, no offensive, no holding. Rhino, we're looking right at you. No holding. Stop doing that. Stop holding. No run first. Stop ISU tight end by committee. And then stop the running back. ISU has good running back. Here I was looking. I actually did a little bit of research. Generally, I don't look. And by research, I mean like 3 to 4 minutes.
Okay, that's fine.
Like, no, I'm not going to sit here and say, because that would bore me senseless scouting another team that I don't hate. But I will say this, and Iowa State is kind of solid across the board.
Mhm.
They're not great, but I don't really look at anything. And keep in mind, this was like for like a 3 to 4 minute scouting report. But I didn't look at anything and be like, all right, man, there's a massive weakness for them. They're pretty solid across the board here. Not great, but solid.
They're one of these teams that doesn't do anything really elite, but isn't bad at anything either.
Mm.
They're not going to beat themselves.
I would agree with that. But that's also why I think Arizona's got a real chance in this game. Because
I think Arizona has a very real chance. And yes, T.R. Burns, 826, Matt Campbell, is that his name? Yeah, he's doing his presser right now.
How do you not know the Iowa State coach's name?
They're actually out both their kickers. So they're down to Chase Smith as their kicker. I don't know what that means, but Conradi, that guy Conradi. I was going to say,
don't they have a kicker named Conrad or something?
It's the freshman kicker they have now, but that dude Conradi, that's the dude that hit the 58-yard field goal.
Yeah, he's out.
He's a legit weapon.
Now I got a question. Did Arizona break his leg?
Yeah. Look, I'm not going to spread rumors, but there's a rumor that he broke his own leg in order to avoid Arizona.
Hey, TJ Wilmore, the great Terrence Wilmore, made a very good point that I want to get to in a second before we get back to this, and it's something that is very much annoying me. He had a 63-yarder and no big whoop. Yeah, no big whoop. All right, let's get a couple reads in here. Back the reads. Green Valley Decorative Rock. Welcome to the Rock. Yeah. All right, you're the closer. All right, Green Valley Decorative Rock. Welcome to the Rock. 2 convenient locations. Tucson plus Green Valley. 50+ locally sourced landscaping materials. Now, you might look at yourself and saying, man, what the hell am I doing with my life? I thought this whole time Green Valley Decorative Rock was in Green Valley. I'm an idiot. Get outside of your house more. You know who absolutely thought this before they started watching the show? Marcus Delgado. There is no chance that Marcus Delgado is not, with the way he doesn't get out of the house, there was no way that he knew that this was in Tucson. No chance.
None.
Yeah. So there was nothing in there about it. But again, we're not going to really hold that against him too much. But either way, go out there and get your rock. Back the rock. East to Benson, Sierra Vista, west to Marana, south to Nogales, north to Oracle. Armando, why would you hit mute during this read? Are you kidding me? Yeah, Armando, step your game up, buddy. Yeah. Get those earbuds checked out. Yes, exactly. So there we are. Okay, now, so that's kind of where we're at this.
Of course, we did Wilbur's big burner. Come on.
What's that? Wilbur's big burner.
Talk about how Arizona broke Oklahoma State. That's what we led with, Wilbur.
Come on, Wilbur, dude. As soon as I see this ad, I raise the volume. You get it. Connor McGrath gets it. People want to hear this read, so thank you. Yes, yeah. Thanks, you guys are great. Yes, of course we talked about that with WBB. All right,
my mom and Shelby went up to the to Phoenix for something last week. And it was the first time my mom listened to the show, from start. And she goes, man, that Michael and his ad reads.
Oh, they're good. I will not change my ad read. I will not change my ad reads. Not going to happen. Like that guy yesterday that was telling me, he's like, why can't this guy be coachable? I don't want to be coached. I am the coach. So, yeah. Got to throw those Bose headphones. All right. So anyways, back the reads. Okay. Now, I use that read to help me fall asleep. Oh, Marcus, buzz off.
I do the opposite.
All right, now, RJ's Frozen Cactus. Parking lots. Maybe the most – did I ever tell you about how Humberto Lopez got all of his money, or as Dennis Walsh calls his good buddy, Bert got his money?
Yeah, Big Bert. Dude, that's such a flex.
Dude,
I know that. Saying like, hey, have you met my friend Bill? And you're like, Bill, what's his last name? I'm like, Gates.
Bill. Yeah, Bertie. Do you call him Bertie or something?
Bertie.
All right, but either way, people, I was reading an article about Bert. And Bert actually, like his first way that he made money, if I'm not mistaken, off this article, and if I'm wrong, then I'll probably something will fall out of the sky and I'll probably perish. So it is what it is. But I'm going to say this: Matthew Tice. Brett plays the ad reads to hype up the team before the games. Damn right he does. Here's what Bert did. he bought like some like parking lot or something on like 22nd and Alvernon when he was like 20 years old for like $2,000. And then he flipped it over for $4,000, not Ben One White style, but the other style, the normal to make money style. And he got $2,000 out of it. And he said that it was just intoxicating at that point. Do not underrate parking lots. Parking lots are big news. But also, this is home of the AZ12 watch parties. We're going to have one in the next month. I guarantee you on that. 100 plus craft beers, $2 deals, pizza, wings, tacos, burgers, and more. No bad seats in the house. No bad seats in the house. You will thank me later. Get there. Red Hot Sports ice cold beer. Check it out. Again, you will thank me later. Get to RJ's Frozen Cactus. Do as you're told right now.
Now.
Yeah.
Piece of crap.
Okay. Bearman Cast 96, I agree there should have been, but they had some pre-existing condition. Or pre-existing condition? Is that a thing for a watch party? Why we had a pre-existing. Yeah, I'm an idiot. Just ignore me. Okay, well, don't ignore me, but at least just keep it on so we get credit for the views. Either way, Comfort X HVAC, back to back. Now, here's the deal. Small business with big savings. Built on trust for the long haul. Perfect track record. Residential and commercial HVAC expertise. ComfortXHVAC.com. Again, Kobe L. Thiel. We haven't seen Kobe L. Thiel. He's been missing. I worry about if our good friend's brain has turned to mush from not having AC. But sooner or later, Sheer, he's going to come crawling back to us. It might be like, like when somebody gets lost in the desert and they see like everything they see is like that little mirage of like a lake, and there's never a lake there or anything like that.
Yeah.
That's what I imagine Kobe L. Thiel doing on his way to work every day now because he doesn't have AC. Don't be like Kobe L. Thiel. Get Comfort X HVAC. You will thank me later. 520-222-7012. All right. Now, TJ Wilmore, the great TJ Wilmore, Terrence Wilmore, said something on Twitter that I very, very much, maybe he is on his hangout with Ben One White.
Not confirming or denying it.
Interesting. I don't know. That's a great question. We should reach out and say, has anybody seen Ben One White and Kobe L. Thiel? Who knows? Okay. Here's where I'm at, or the Kansas State thing, and Terrence made this point, and I think it's a great point. Everybody now, I went back and I had a couple people send me some stuff. I love how Kansas State people are making it out like Arizona sucks and this win means nothing. No, that's not what it was. And I like Kansas State people by and large, but no, you suck. Arizona should have beaten Kansas State by a lot more. You guys are lucky that game was as close as it was because let's be honest here. I think if Arizona plays Kansas State 10 times, they're winning 7 or 8 of those games. Arizona was just better. And you and I were sitting up there watching. We're like, dude, if we just stop beating ourselves, if we just stop
we just stop beating
ourselves. Your mind, that's not the Dennis Walsh special.
No, I agree. Yeah, no, I'm with you. We stop beating ourselves.
Yeah, so if Arizona stops beating it, all right. So either way, what I'm saying is that Arizona was the better team. Kansas, it wasn't anything Kansas State did or didn't do. Kansas State sucks. And Marcus Delgado says, in last year's team would have lost. Yes, yeah. Did you learn that from Big Bro? Because he is right. But Sheer, I don't know what else to say on that. I don't get why you would I don't know why you would why you wouldn't just acknowledge that, yeah. I mean, just because a couple people send me some links and they're like, oh, yeah, Arizona sucks. This is more about what we did do. No, you suck. You are worse than us, period.
Dude, I like when you get feisty.
No, I don't get why you would. I never understand bashing a team you just lost to.
It's like what I say. I cannot stand the overrated champ.
Right. It's so stupid.
You're not as good as we thought you are because you lost to us. That's what you're saying. Like
we suck, so we should.
Yeah, very stupid.
The most embarrassing moment ever P. Hoff gets it. I actually have faith in the young generation because of people I don't want to say faith, but there are some people out there. P. Hoff, Mr. Tyler Warden is a millennial, so he doesn't count. P. Hoff, Wilbur's Big Burner, AJ, there are some Gen Zers out there that are good, that are well-meaning. And I want to get you guys, listen, man, you guys are going to have to carry a heavy you guys are going to have to carry a lot of people. All right. So the dumbest thing, the Delgado brothers, I don't know. I'm not throwing Joseph and Marcus in there.
They got to carry a heavy load.
Yes, they got to carry a heavy load. Yes. All right. But the worst thing I've ever seen, and this was at McHale, and I'll never forget this. This was like Channing Frye's, I want to say, senior year, and Utah comes in, and they're unranked, and Arizona beats Utah in McHale, and the fans start chanting out overrated. They're not ranked.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was one of the most embarrassing moments ever.
It's just the whole chant is stupid. Who did I talk to?
Right, yeah.
Talking to people?
No, yeah. So what's worse, the overrated chanter saying we didn't need them anyway when a starter enters the transfer portal?
Overrated chant, easily.
Overrated chant, because we probably didn't want him anyways.
Yeah.
Unless it's BBN.
Yeah.
Oh, BBN got. Has BBN gotten any time yet this season? Yeah, that was the team with Andrew Bogut. Yes, T Burns. That was T Burns.
The practice squad, Mike. Why would he get time?
Oh yeah, that was it. It was with Andrew Bogut, and I was sitting here and I'm like, because I was just at the game as a fan, and I was like, why are you chanting overrated? They're not rated, and we just beat them. Like, I don't know. It's embarrassing, but yeah. Let's see here. All right. So either way, overrated or rushing the field court.
I like rushing the field. Now, I will say this. I think rushing the field for Arizona football is significantly more meaningful than rushing the court for Arizona.
I got some information for you as well, and this is just something. I think that there's going to be somebody rushing the quarterback for Arizona next year.
Oh, yeah? You think so?
Yeah. He's not playing, man.
No, I know he's not.
He's not playing. He's buried on that depth chart.
But, I mean, look, I'm just reading this right now. Elite 2028 safety. Pola Moala, your guy. I know you're a big fan of Pola Moala.
Oh, yeah, the Pola Moala, whatever his name is. Yeah.
Arizona next weekend. 4-star safety. He's visiting Arizona, Washington, Ole Miss, and Texas Tech. Arizona's on its way up.
Dude, Arizona's on its way up.
Ole Miss, Washington, Texas Tech, Arizona.
Yeah.
One of those don't belong, and it ain't Arizona.
Wilbur's Big Burner, you can blame millennials for this. He says the day Arizona rushes McHale is the day we all denounce.
I rushed McHale. I believe I think when I was a student, we rushed McHale. Remember that game where UCLA was up like 100?
Yes, I do remember that.
And then Arizona scored like 30 points in the last 8 minutes to win. I believe that's the last time someone's rushed McHale.
Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Like they hey, are any of our Gen Zers, were any of you guys in frats? Did you guys rush?
Wilbur's Big Burner has to be a frat.
Wilbur's Big Burner, because I met Wilbur's Big Burner. That's a cool kid. I bet Wilbur's Big Burner was in a frat. Or I bet he knows somebody that was in a frat. Yeah. So anyways, yeah. So anyways, good job, Wilbur's Big Burner. We assume you were in a frat. But you're a cool frat though. We should have. Oh my gosh, we should have an AZ-12 frat.
We'd be kicked off campus so fast.
Yeah, David Rosen is in here. Happy birthday, my friend David Rosen, the great David Rosen. Okay, all right.
How old are you, David Rosen?
Yeah, happy birthday. We love David Rosen on this show. Okay, so now let's get back to Arizona. Let's go with what the thumbnail was. I would like to see. There's going to be games this year when Noah's just going to have to really play. And here's kind of where I'm at with I love Noah, but Noah's also the highest paid guy on the team. I'm not. I didn't realize that the kids call that pocket checking.
Who's second? Genesis.
I don't know who's second.
I would assume Genesis.
I would assume Genesis just because of everything that I don't know. I would assume Genesis, but no. There's gonna be Wilbur's Big Burner was not in a frat. All right. Okay. But I would assume, though, that there's going to be some games where Noah's going to have to put the team on his back. And who knows? This might be one of those games. I don't know that that's going to be the game. But listen, again, and I'm not – is it pocket changing you? Is that the term that everyone uses?
Pocket tap.
What's that?
Pocket tap.
Pocket tap?
Yeah.
All right. So I don't want to pocket tap anyone, but at the end of the day, there's going to be some games where he's got to really we need Noah to play well in this game. Period. Point blank. We need pocket watching. That's what it is. Pocket watching. Yeah, that's right.
I don't think Arizona could win this weekend if Noah doesn't play well. No pressure. I just don't.
I agree with that. I think Noah's got to be sharp, and I think if Noah's sharp, I think Arizona wins that game. To be honest with you. The holdings bother me a great deal, but at the end of the day, Noah's got to play well. And yes, Matthew Tice. By the way, now that I know the last name pronunciation, all I think about is Mike Tice. Is Mike Tice still coaching?
No.
That guy looked like he should have been like a really tall greeter at Costco or something. I remember when they hired him or something, and it was like, So all right. Well, either way, all right. Now Big 12 Bobby's already in here, spitting his negative venom at us. We don't like it. 32-23. Yeah, Noah just needs to be clean. Not a big game, but there is going to become a time when Noah needs to have a big game. But I agree. All the running backs are healthy. Everybody is fairly healthy. And like I said, I like Arizona's chances, man. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's kind of weird. Like, there's no exotic offense, right? Iowa State is kind of predictable. They're going to use their tight end. They're going to use a power run game.
Benwin White messaged us yesterday about the tight end and the power run game, and he was talking about the gaping holes. And he was like, man, this is the game for me.
They run four tight ends.
Right. Everybody should message Ben White at some point today and ask him what he thinks about about a team that plays 4 tight ends and the spread.
He'll give you that deep analysis too.
Deep analysis
really
too.
Get in there. Get his hands dirty.
Yes, he really will. He really will. Now, Nick Arena says, are all the running backs healthy or just probable? Cody just says, let's get to some reads, and then we will get to that because that was going to be next one up there. Next one. Hey, on AZ12 Prep, our motto is next man up. All right. 88 Crime, 882-7463. Here's the deal with 88 Crime and why it's so good. Everybody sees things out there that are probably shouldn't be going on, but you're like, you know what? I don't really want to get my hands dirty. I don't want to have to like file a report and be interrogated by like 25 different people. Here's what you do. If you see something you don't like, or you see something that's not going the way it should be, call 88 Crime. It's anonymous. Pima County Attorney's Office, 88 Crime. They've solved over hundreds and hundreds and thousands of cases just by going through 88 Crime. Because if you see something out there and you're like, I don't, that doesn't look right to me, go ahead and give them a call. You got people there that are going to take down your information. They've solved a bunch of cold cases this way, and they can continue to do that. Everybody out there, though, get in there. And again, the great thing about it, too, it's anonymous. So you can see something that's going on, and then you can say, all right, I can report it, and then I can go on with my day. I don't have to get stuck up in like 55 hours of like legal jargon or anything. 88 Crime, it's there for a reason, everybody. Use it. Pima County Attorney's Office. Check it out. All right, now cut that for me, Cody. Now, all right, yeah, Foster Plumbing, back the pipe. Residential and commercial, licensed, bonded, and insured. Sewer line coating, point repairs, water heaters, drain cleaning, you name it, they got it. And the great thing about it as well is that it's 24/7 service. Sheer, how many times have you ever had to call a plumber in your life? Over, under 18?
Under. But if it was over, no matter what number it was Foster Plumbing.
Yeah, it was Foster Plumbing. Exactly. So that's the great thing about it. Licensed, bonded, and insured. Sewer line coating. Everything in there, and it's 24/7. Yes. Now, Dennis Walsh is still upset about this. It's funny. I thought about reaching out to them and asking him about this, that graphic, and then I realized that it bothers Dennis Walsh so much that I'm not going to we're not going to change it. Deal with the front pipe. That's what everybody has. If your front pipe isn't working, Oh, no. If you're either way, they can help you out. 10% off when you mention AZ12 Podcast. Our very good pal Mike Natowski, the owner of Green Valley Decorative Rock, which is also in Tucson, used them and was very, very happy with it. Check it out. Foster Plumbing, quality work at a fair price. Back the Foster, back the pipe. Sheer.
Yes, Michael.
Sheer.
Michael, where are you?
Where'd you go? Every time this happens. Oh, did I tell you what Andre Veras did? And this goes right into this read. Andre Veras is he deals with all kinds of clients, just not high-end clients, like Joseph, the high-end clients. But he's in the LAX airport, and guess what he sent me a picture of? A Tom Ford shop at LAX.
Whoa.
Although these are like the St. Lawrence or something. These are different ones. But either way, check it out. Now part of the My Eye Doctor Network. Let's see here. Big 12 Bobby, you want to know? I see what you're doing right there. 60-plus insurances accepted. Same-day urgent visits. 520-322-2713. Arizona Primary Eye Care. Back the eye. Get in there. And again, they got 4 locations. We need to get them all filled up. Now, I didn't get airport glasses. Buzz off. So either way, check it out. Perfect place to glow up. Arizona Primary Eye Care. We like Cheryl a great deal. Now part of the My Eye Doctor Network. Okay. Now. All right. What do we got? All right. So we're back. Are the running backs? That's a great question. Are the running backs actually healthy?
Why wouldn't they be?
Well, I don't know. I don't know.
Ricino, I don't know. I don't know about Ricino, but the other ones, Quincy Craig should be fine after a few weeks. Yeah.
Okay, so you got that. And so Arizona should be good on that. What most worries you about Iowa State's squad, Sheer?
I just think they don't make a lot of mistakes, right? Like their O-line is good. They don't make a lot of mistakes. I worry that Arizona will blitz and then not be able to get pressured on Rocco back to, I think is a
you almost said Rocco Benet.
I did. Who's an underrated quarterback.
He's good, but he's not great. Yeah, I worry about that as well. This is really, listen, when it comes to the offense, I think the thing that we're going to find out more so than anything is the defensive side of the football on this. Can Arizona win games like this? Can Arizona win games where, the defense basically takes over? And again, I didn't like the call because I always like coaches that go aggressive, but you could tell that Danny Gonzalez was very, when we had him on the show and he's like, I went to Brennan and he said, punt it. We're not going to give him a first down. That's awesome. I mean, and did they give him a first down?
No.
Yeah. I mean, I like that. I give them a lot of credit for that one. Also Desert Devil, are you an ASU fan? All right, hold on, Sheer. We don't want to.
That's you.
We don't want to bother David Rosen, so there we go.
Sorry,
it's his
David.
birthday boy. Okay, so either way, we're going to find out a lot. And the guys that that we've been impressed by throughout this so far, your Deshaun McKnights, your Palus, your guys like that. Are you going to be able to get pressure? Are you going to be able to get off the edges? Are you going to be able to get a Malachi Bailey? Is Trey Smith's going to be healthy, right?
I believe so. Yes, based on what I was told last week.
All right, well that's good as well. Did Tim Daniel tell you that?
Boots on the ground, Tim Daniel.
All right, everybody out there, we've been.
The conversation woke me up. By the way, that's too early for a text. I don't care what you say.
Oh yeah, so I sent Sheer a text at 9:15, and it said it was
9:15. What time was your first text? I'm gonna see if I can find it.
Yeah. I get up very early. Your
first text was at 8:19 a.m. That's too early.
Oh, come on. That's not too early.
You cannot text people at 8 in the morning.
That's not too early. Brett Gleason responded immediately.
That could be a good Twitter poll. Is 8 a.m. too early to text someone?
Yeah, you're wrong. It's not. How long is
Twitter poll? Our first Twitter poll.
All right. Now, what I also like about it, and Dave Gearhart is talking about this as well. Noah running has been something that I've liked this season. It's definitely not too early. But Noah running this season has been that's been nice. And there's something again, and it's kind of the Russell Wilson thing. Back when Russell Wilson, you're going to embarrass yourself with this poll, Sheer. You probably shouldn't put that out there.
Who said that?
Joseph, and about everybody in the chat. Not one person has agreed with you, Sheer.
8 a.m.
Yes. Well, most people are up before 9:45, but
What does it 9:45 have to do with 8 a.m.?
Well, because 8 a.m.
Hold on. First of all, we need to. Is 8 a.m. too early to text something that's not important?
No, nobody in the chat agrees with you. There's literally been 13 responses and not one person.
No.
All right. I don't know what to tell you. You're going to look really stupid if you put that out there. But all right, now.
You texted at 8 a.m. Is Tim Daniel real? What did I say?
Yes, Tim Daniel real. Anyways, I like what they've been able to do with Noah, though. I like that because there's also going to be times, too, where he's going to have to use his feet to get a first down. And I'm excited. He's been able to run the ball, and I've been happy with it, Skier. I've been very happy with that.
They got to run Noah. Right. Iowa State overall had some trouble with Arkansas State with their running quarterback. And I think that Seth Bigie's going to watch the video and kind of try to expose that.
Yeah. Now, P. Hoff says, I haven't been asleep at 8 a.m. on a weekday in years. Yes, exactly.
It has nothing to do with his sleep.
Skier.
It's just early. It's just pure courtesy.
For what? You're awake. You should be awake by 8 o'clock.
Doesn't matter if I'm awake or not.
What's your point? You look like an idiot right now.
No, it's courtesy. You texting someone at 8 a.m. is Tim Daniel a real person? Is moronic.
No, I texted you.
Wait till 9 or 10 or 11.
And I texted you, Brent Gleason responded back immediately, and he said, "Oh, that guy." He said, "I forgot all about that guy." Hey, everybody out there, we're all.
I couldn't wait 45 minutes. And plus, you texted me that the other day,
dude. All right, everybody out there, we need your help on something here. We need you to look up this Tim Daniel guy on Twitter, and we need you to find out, do you think that he is AI? Do you think this is a real person or not? Go find his Twitter. It says on his Twitter that he's been like an NFL, or he's been like a GM for like 39 years or something like that. He was getting into it with ASU fans. Just go onto his Twitter and see if you think that this is a real person or not. I am curious about it.
You said this the other day.
All right, but nobody did it. I am saying maybe if I say it again, people will actually hop on there and go find him up, look him up right now. This guy's going to be like, why are so many people tweeting at me? I never get any interactions. So, all right. So, anyways, all right. Troy, yeah, check it out though. So, all right, now the DBs, I don't worry about it. Listen, if Rocco Beck throws for like 300 yards and kills Arizona, then it is what it is. Like that's. I think the DBs are going to be just fine. The main thing I'm interested by is because Arizona and all of their, what does his profile pic look like? Oh, he has multiple profiles. No. Hey, Skier, put his profile up.
I can't. It doesn't let me. It doesn't let me text links.
Can you? You can't link a tweet.
No.
All right. Well, either way, just look him up. But I'm gonna say, what were we talking about? I'm gonna be, because Arizona's been fast and violent this season, and that's something that all right, hold on.
Oh my God! See, this is what I'm saying. Imagine doing this at 8 a.m.
Let's see.
God. I answer Mike's text at 8 a.m. We've talked to the phone at 8 a.m., but I don't care about Tim Daniel at 8 a.m.
All right, go and look at Timmy D football, and it says, here's what his byline says. It says 39 years, player and coach, NFL player development and analyst.
That's the thing. That's a lie. That's a lie.
And it's funny.
Like me saying I've been a scouting expert for 40 years.
Right.
It's a lie. That part's not true.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, so check it out and just ask him if he's AI. Just see what he says. I'm very curious.
This is real easy to fix.
What?
Improve at all of it. We need to get Tim Daniel on the show.
I've already asked him, and he said he won't do it. So that's immediately.
Whoa! What was his reason?
No, he just said that he's busy. So busy running a bunch of AI accounts. So yeah.
Busy.
Well, think something is wrong.
Mean?
Yeah. So I don't know, but we've asked him before. Yeah, we've already given it to you guys. So go and look at it if you want. Okay, what do you think? That's a great question. What can Arizona best exploit about Iowa State, Skier? What say you?
Speed. I don't think Iowa State's fast.
Agreed.
I think I watched some Iowa State a little more than you.
I don't know if that's possible.
I mean, I'm just saying. Right. They're slow. I don't think they're fast. Right. I think they're slow defensively.
You know what they feel like? Cold soup.
They feel like a Big Ten team.
They feel like a cold soup team.
But they don't make a lot of mistakes.
Right. Let's see here. Nick Arena says he's real. I've been on his show. Interesting. 99% of Iowa State is slow. The 1% is a boost Sama. It's great.
Mike has no idea who that is. He probably thinks it's a character in Lion King or something.
Yeah, I do. I was actually listening to Lion King the other day. Elton John. The circle of life. Yeah. It moves us all. Yeah, Arizona would absolutely beat Iowa, Wilbur's Big Burner. I have no doubt about that.
Iowa State's defense on PFF, your favorite. What was I going to say? If you look at their defense, Iowa State's defense, Mike, is ranked. Hold on here. Arizona has the 16th best defense in the country on PFF, Michael.
I got a question. How does it only 16? They haven't given up a touchdown all season.
Iowa State, 83rd.
Yeah, no. But I don't.
Did we just move the spread? Arizona's 16th. The teams ahead, you want me to tell you the teams ahead of Arizona? Cincinnati, UCF, Houston, all Big 12 teams. Number 1 in the country, Texas Tech.
How is Cincinnati doing this season?
They lost their only team they played, which was Nebraska. According to PFF, the best team in the country, grade-wise, is who?
The best
not
team
impressive, not who you see with your eyes, but if you took everything into
context. Oh, this is going to be some stupid thing.
It's not like super stupid, but
Washington.
No. Definitely not. Washington's 15th.
Right. What is it?
Indiana.
All right, yeah.
They just scored 800 points.
No, that Italian coach is awesome. Why is he still at Indiana?
He's only been at Indiana for like a year, dude.
Right. I don't get why he was there. I don't get why wouldn't he leave?
Arizona's 39th on PFF. Iowa State 46th. See, here's the thing too with Iowa State and PFF rankings.
Tim Rodriguez. They gave up 400 yards to Arkansas State,
yes,
my friend.
Yes, so the thing that caught my eye in that matchup was
Ben White.
Yeah, so Ben and I talked on the phone. He just sends me pictures of tight ends all day.
Yeah.
Arkansas State's quarterback ran for 83 yards, right? They ran for 100, and the running backs didn't really do anything. Like, the numbers aren't that impressive. Like, they ran 40 times for 160 yards. That's not good. That's 4 yards a carry.
Right.
And then the passing was 19 of 33 for 200 yards. That's not good either.
Right.
I like Rocco Beck. You know who's good? Their running backs worry me because if you don't wrap up, you're done. You're done. You're dead in the water. Because Carson Hansen is a large man. Very cool.
There's a lot of very girthy.
6'2", 220-pound running back.
Yeah. I mean, so
very girthy. He had 116 yards against Arkansas State. He had 46 yards against Iowa, but he only did on 10 carries, and then he killed Kansas State. And then the other guy who's a stud is Abu Sama, who's 5'11". You know, he's good too. They're good. They're not great. I do wonder. I don't remember where I saw the tweet, but I do wonder if they're the next Illinois of the top 25, where everyone kind of thinks they look good, and then they face a good team, and it just goes.
I.e., Arizona, and they lose by 500
so like
points.
They would be exposed. This weekend would be the expose.
Can you have Ben one do the post game in a cowboy hat? Do we think Ben owns a cowboy hat?
No chance. Doug Meacham, Oklahoma State's interim coach. Your boy, Doug Meacham.
I love Doug Meacham. That guy's great.
What's your favorite memory about Doug Meacham?
I don't know. Probably the time that he came to Bob Dobbs.
Yeah, you nailed it. He was at Bob Dobbs once.
Yeah, I mean,
Doug Meacham. Come on.
Who's Doug Meacham? Hey, why did I just go? It feels like an Arizona Premier eye care read. Why did I just go blurry?
Doug Meacham was at TCU. This is his first year at Oklahoma State. He's okay. He got fired by TCU.
What's going on here?
Dude, everything you touch.
Oh. We'll do our, by the way, we're going to do our power rankings. When are we doing our, should we do them tomorrow?
Yeah, get your face real close to the camera and then back off real fast.
No, it's not working. What's going on here? Yeah, see, I like John Kurtz, but I also don't. I think
What did he say?
What's that?
What did he say?
Well, he really went to some links to. Dude, why in the world won't this? Maybe I'll look better this way. Who knows? All right. The links that he went to basically say that that Arizona sucks, and it was more about what Kansas State does.
Yeah, some other dude on 3 did that.
Right. I don't get it, man. Arizona was clearly better. I don't know what where are you going to rank CU, Mike? Low. I think CU. Hey, who's CU play this week?
BYU.
Yeah.
I actually think they could win that game. I don't really think a lot of BYU. Can you fix this?
Well, I don't know how to fix it.
This is embarrassing.
This is terrible.
This is absolutely. We run a top-notch show here, and now it's even worse.
You know how many people are gonna? You know how many people that just found this podcast are gonna comment on the YouTube thing about how I'm an idiot and I can't keep my thoughts.
Move to the right. Move to the right. Get out of the screen. Get out of the screen. Okay, now go back in the screen. Yep, you're welcome.
Holy moly! Sure, just when I think you can't
You're welcome.
Just when I think you can't get anything right, you go out and do something like this.
Getting everything right, Mike.
And totally redeem yourself. All right, so there we are. The technical proficiency.
How does Colorado still keep getting 4 stars? Don't these kids realize?
Did they just get another 4-star?
Yeah, they just got a 4-star lineman. Don't you guys? I mean, come on. Don't we watch sports?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, their coach isn't going to even be there. Yeah, K-State sucked. Arizona was clearly better. So I don't know what else to say about that one. So that's kind of where we're at now. There's something that I do want to talk about. We're going to start giving our predictions a little bit more. The Dumb and Dumber reference, very, very good. I want to ask you something, Skier. And Nick Saban was saying this. The other day, and I don't know if I believe it or not.
No,
actually, no, I do. He's saying now that there is a competitive unbalance for the SEC when it comes to the Big Ten because the Big Ten schools get more NIL money. He doubled down on this again. SEC schools complaining about something not being fair for them is maybe the height of irony, Skier.
He's probably right. But you know how there's some things you just shouldn't say?
Right.
You know, that's one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't say it. Like the SEC gets plenty of money. If it was the ACC saying that,
or the Big 12,
I would listen to it. But you're in the SEC, dude. I don't want to hear that.
Right, exactly. And the thing about it too is that there's only like 3 good teams in the Big Ten. There's so like I don't really know. I don't know. I just thought it was really, really weak to say that it's not really fair.
It is weak. Absolutely weak.
Yeah, I mean, well, Nick Saban comes up with weird stuff to complain about from time to time when he's worried about competitive balance. Do you remember when he was worried? He didn't like the spread. He didn't like the hurry up spread offenses because he said he was worried about
injuries or whatever.
Yeah, he said he was worried about injuries or something like that. So that there are 3 of them. Ohio State, Penn State's good.
Oregon.
And Oregon. Those are the 3 good teams. Everybody else sucks. Just kind of all right. So we shall see.
Tyler Warden ready? Is Tyler Warden
ready?
Yeah,
yes. Tyler Warden's going to hop in just a minute. You guys still got 5 minutes on the clock, my friend. But first, we got to talk about this. Is the Arizona basketball schedule, was it released?
No. Ask me again in a few hours.
I actually kind of know the schedule. Indiana might be good. I don't know, but they're probably also fake good, though. They strike me. Here's what fake good is. If a team plays if Indiana plays Ohio State, I think they're going to lose by 4 touchdowns.
We'll find out.
Do they play? Do they play them?
Indiana football schedule. They have your boys Iowa this weekend.
Oh.
Then they go to Oregon. So let's find out.
We'll find out again. We'll find out again.
They have Penn State in November. So they do play Oregon and Penn State. They miss Ohio State.
Where did the Signatio or Signetti guy come from? James Madison, right?
Yeah.
Didn't Jordan McLeod make him? Wasn't Jordan McLeod the one that made him famous?
Think so, yeah.
Okay, so either Washington or Indiana upset Ohio State this year. I don't see it. I mean, maybe Nick Arenas. I don't see it though. We will see. Okay, so now we're going to do our power rankings tomorrow. We're going to go over our picks. It was a bad week for me last week with picks. I am not happy about it, and I will try to bounce back in a big way. But first, let's get some reads in here before Sheer leaves. Yeah, and then we got Mr. Tyler Warden coming in. All right. Oh, championship package. Now, everybody out there is worried about the championship package. I will be getting the championship package. There are many other people out there that are worried that they're saying, man, I am not going to get the championship package. And you're just kind of like, all right, well, not my fault. Loaned by local Arizona alumni. Now, we have decided that we do believe, Land, that this is his sister.
Yeah.
Mr. Tyler Warden. Dennis Walsh doesn't believe that this is Land's sister. He thinks
I don't know. I'm going to get to the bottom of this.
Yeah. Updated. But Dennis Walsh is also equivocating here a little bit. His line yesterday was Land's sister plus 250. Now it's down to plus 230.
Oh.
Dennis is getting cold feet. Maybe it's because he's up in the jet right now. I don't know. Maybe he's like a little altitude sickness. But either way, owned by local Arizona alumni, only offers necessary treatment. Daily urgent care, Monday through Friday. Dental implants at affordable rate. Yeah, we need to get to the bottom of this and find out who this woman is exactly. I actually am going out on a limb, and I'm going to say that I do believe Land, the man with the master plan. I don't believe, though, that the woman because there's like the two blurry women in the side. I don't believe that the other one is his wife or his wife.
I agree.
I think Land's fibbing on that, but I think he's being honest about the main character here, the protagonist. Yeah. So either way, get dental implants at a great rate. 1997. Again, you don't got to go to Sri Lanka or cold soup areas, any of that stuff. You don't have to go to like Iowa or anything like that. You can do it here in Tucson for 1997. The championship package. Check it out. Boom. All right, Bridge Tech Communications. Now you got these putzes in here that are they don't know how to find a real gym. And they're like, man, I wish I could find a real gym around here, but I can't find anything. We're like lifting old we're lifting like old pots and pans behind Truland because we don't go to a place that uses Bridge Tech Communications to push their work out there. Maybe if that place that Dennis Walsh and Brad Hudson are working at with Peyton Pelletier, maybe if they actually worked out at a real gym with Bridge Tech Communications, it would be easier than having to toil away in the hot times. So there is that. Okay, now Bridge Tech Communications, check it out. Can you help your market or gym? 750% average ROI. That is good. We like that. Now.
Goodbye, Michael.
All right, get out of here. We didn't want
Danny Gonzalez time, baby.
Yeah, Danny Gonzalez time, baby. All right, you can have Danny Gonzalez. Guess what? I'm going to take the future offensive coordinator of AZ-12 Prep, Mr. Tyler Warden. Hello, Mr. Tyler Warden.
What's up, Mike? How's it going?
Not too bad. How you doing? Are you coming to us live from the job?
I am live from the 9 to 5 job. We had practice this morning, so fortunately I got the first job out the way, or the second job out the way this morning.
All right, so now our future, Mr. Tyler Warden, as everybody knows here, the future offensive coordinator at AZ-12 Prep. This is going to be big. I want to ask you this though. Let's talk a little high school football here first. That's for you, Joseph. Fill us in on Chaparral. What's going on? What's going on with your guys?
Yeah, so it's been a little bit of a rough stretch. Obviously this is year one of kind of a new regime. And I think anytime you're taking over a program, there's a lot of kind of building up you have to do, not only from, an X's and O's perspective and a development perspective, but also just in terms of getting the culture, getting the buy-in, all that kind of stuff. And so there's been a little bit of growing pains. We're kind of working through that right now. Last week was obviously a pretty brutal week. But with that said, the last two practices we've had are probably the best practices we've had all season. So the hope here is that, we're getting things figured out. The kids are finally starting to kind of see, the fruits of what we've been talking about. And, we got a game this week, Friday at Apollo. We're optimistic about it, and we'll see what happens.
Now, let me ask you this: in Phoenix, there's so much talent there now. Are all these schools basically, because it's legal now with open enrollment? Do they all just recruit? Is that basically how it works?
I mean, there's not technically recruiting. I think what you see are that top talents around the city are not afraid to go to top programs, right? So that's where you get schools like Basha, schools like Liberty. Hamilton this year. Those are the three best teams in, the state, in my opinion.
Desert Edge isn't in there?
I mean, Desert Edge is from a 5A level.
Right. Gotcha.
I think that if they were up at the 6A level, they might be just a tier below those three. The other three, I mean, Bash is the top 25 team nationally.
Right.
I think that just there is a culture up here of willing to travel for your high school team that there isn't really in Tucson.
Right, because you're just going to Sal Point if you're good in Dev, whereas you got like 5 Sal Points that you can go to. Now,
and I think that you're seeing you saw Cienega, call it a decade to 5 years ago. That was kind of the second emerging team within Tucson, and Marana's kind of now that team. And I think that you have that at a very micro scale, but in Phoenix, when you have 5 million people, you just get a lot more talent. Do you think that's also why all the kids leave the state? Because they have no fear of traveling to all the 5 and 4 star kids. They generally leave the state. What do you? I've been meaning to ask you that. I wanted to ask you that when you got on the show. What do you attribute that to? I mean, look, at the end of the day, I think you just got to look at Arizona and ASU and the landscape of college football, right? So if you're somebody like Devin Fitzgerald and you have an offer from Notre Dame, right, it's kind of not that comparable to ASU and Arizona. So I think the top echelon kids in the state, they're getting looked at nationally. And I think Phoenix and Arizona as a whole really is probably the 4th best high school market in the country. I agree with you. Southern California, Florida, Texas. I think I would put Arizona at number 4. I would, yes. So there's just eyeballs everywhere, right? Tate Reynolds, who's a 4-star quarterback out of Queen Creek, has been committed to Clemson. Is he going to Clemson? He is going, well, we'll see what happens with Dabo.
Isn't he a baseball player too?
He is. He's probably 6'2", 230, and he's built like a grown man.
Right.
But he's been committed for over a year. Dabo was on him 2 years ago. So I think that just nationally, a lot of the top programs are willing to kind of tap into this market. And at the end of the day, like as much as I'm encouraged by what Arizona's doing and as impressive as some of the things that ASU has done, just not comparable.
Because here's what it comes down to for me, and then we're going to get to Arizona football here in just a second. If you're Bijan Robinson, for example, by the way, isn't it still funny that probably the best player that's come out of the state in the last 10 years is still a Tucson kid?
Yeah.
But think about it this way. If his name was Bijan Warden and he was your kid, and he's coming up and, you got an offensive mind and everything, and the option is Kevin Sumlin at the time or going to play for Texas, no matter what you want, you're going to send your kid to where they can best benefit, no? So if Arizona and ASU don't give you that option, why would you send them there in the first place?
Well, I mean, it would have helped if Kevin Sumlin had recruited Bijan. Separate
little detail.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, look, like when Texas or Alabama or Notre Dame or Ohio State, when they come knocking, like what was the safety that was at Ohio State that just was
Lathan Ransom, right? Also in the NFL.
Perfect example, right? If Ohio State's calling, it doesn't matter that you're 5 minutes away from U of A. You're going to go to Ohio State.
Yeah. Now, Dennis Walsh, it does make, but they also T-Mac came to play for Jed, not for Kevin Sumlin. So I think we need to be clear about that. Okay. Now, Arizona, Iowa State. You want to know how we're a football school? The great Tyler Warden, when I messaged him asking if he'd like to come on, he said, "Man, I'm really in football mode right now." And I said, "Yes, that shows you we're a football school." Let's talk about it. Where are we? Let's talk about where we are at now with Arizona. Again, I get it's not the greatest competition, but from your coaching perspective, what do you see from Arizona? What surprised you the most? How about that? Let's start there.
I would say there's two main things that kind of stand up. One is defensively, their pursuit and their aggression and their willingness to tackle. That is a mentality thing. Like that is a Danny G. We are going to be a nasty physical unit thing, and that's not something that we've seen out of that defense, quite a while. So that really stands out because even if you're having coverage busts or you're having, you're outsized in the trenches, the ability to just put your nose down and run people over, I mean, that is a welcome sight, and that's a cultural thing. I think the other thing is too, there's been a lot of issues with the offensive line from a pass blocking perspective and from a penalties perspective. The run blocking's been really good.
Really good.
I'm very encouraged by the run blocking, and I think that's actually an area where this week, particularly against kind of your traditional 3-3 stack defense and Matt Campbell's going to run a run, I think that this is a week where we can impose our will in the running game because we have about a 30-pound advantage across their defensive line. Now, granted, they've got one of the best defensive tackles in the country in Dominique Orange or however you say his name.
I just go by Dominique. I didn't want to try the other way.
I mean, with that said, if you get a 345-pound Chuba in space like he was against Kansas State, I'm actually encouraged by that. Now, I think the pass blocking needs to be cleaned up. I'm nervous about the tackle position right now on the right side. But I'm very encouraged by the run block.
Yeah. Now we're going to get to the run game in just a second. T-Burns 826. What I think I might be most surprised by is the scheming's been awesome for sure.
Yes.
Total credit for that. But doesn't the defense just feel a lot faster, a lot more? It just feels, and maybe that's because they're basically given an assignment and it's not, hey, let's just like keep everything in front of us. But that to me, it feels faster just watching them across the board.
Well, I don't want us to understate, too, the importance of guys like Traden Stukes and Genesis and Gunnar Maldonado from last year. Like, when you lose your playmakers in the secondary and you have to change up the way that you're going to attack things defensively, like, obviously it's going to look drastically different to this year. So, when you have Traden, who's now, it sounds like he's going to be fully back, right?
Yeah.
He obviously had some limited reps, 2 weeks ago. But a guy like Genesis, who's, developed into a day 2 pick in the NFL, like, I think it just gives you more liberty to play free, play fast, play physical. The defensive line has been encouraged, that's been a source of encouragement.
Yeah.
We still don't have kind of that traditional power rusher type, but we're doing things like getting Chase Kennedy to use the fact that he's a speed rusher.
Right.
We don't
Malachi Bailey has shown some burst off the edge,
Absolutely. The defensive tackle situation, like, it's been more stout than I would have anticipated. So you're not putting yourself in second and third and short situations, you're getting situations where you can actually get after the quarterback. You can use that speed as an advantage.
Danny Gonzalez, I thought, made an interesting point when we asked him before the season. And I'll be honest with you, I chalked it up as just kind of being full of crap because every defensive coordinator says the same. I've never come across a defensive coordinator that says, you know what, we just want to keep everything in front of us and just any of that. It's generally BS. But he said, it's my job to get a pass rush. He said, if we're not getting it with 4, we have to get it with 5. We're not getting it with 5, we have to get it with 6. We have to get a pass rush. And he said, at the end of the day, that's on me to be able to get that. And I just thought that was a very refreshing remark because and I like Dwayne Aquino a lot. But I mean, let's be honest here. Like last year, there was a lot of times where it was just kind of like, all right, well, we're, I guess hope the pass is incompleted or because you're just dropping guys and whatnot. But Gonzalez has done that to a T. The other thing too, that I think we got to give some credit on, and again, we're going to find out more against Iowa State for sure, is they really did a nice job on these evals when it comes to these. Like a guy like Deshaun McKnight from, where was he from? Like UT Martin or something?
Yeah, UT Martin.
Yeah. I mean, you look at his 24/7 profile and he was rated as like the 99th best tackle or something in the trend. I mean, these were not guys that were really, sought after by a lot of people. But between him, between Bailey, Leroy Palu, I generally don't even like recruiting JUCO guys anymore because I don't think there's a lot of talent there. They hit on these guys so far, at least, Tyler.
Yeah, and I wonder how much of that is the guys that they bring in being undervalued relative to the rest of the nation versus the coaching staff's ability to project what that recruit is into the scheme.
Yeah.
Right. Because somebody like a Malachi Bailey or a Leroy Palu, they might not be, a great fit for a Texas or for a Utah or something, a different scheme. But what Danny G has showcased is the ability to take those guys and be able to utilize their skill set in the broader scheme of the defense. And I think you're seeing that a bit too within like the offensive running game too, with Quincy Craig or with Ishmael Mahdi. And, obviously we had Kendrick Reeseneau, who was a 2-year-ago transfer. Like each of them bring a special and a differentiated skill set. So it's not just, hey, with Quincy Craig, we want you to be running in between the tackles. No, we're going to, scheme things up to.
We're going to incorporate you in the passing game. We're going
exactly.
to. Right.
Exactly. And I think that when you're able to do that, you're able to add more and more dimensions into your offense or your defense. And it just frees you up to be a little bit more flexible. And I think that when you're kind of game planning as a coach, if you're on the offensive side of the ball and you're trying to game plan defensively, the worst thing you can kind of face is when it's, they have the ability to do everything.
Right.
They have the ability to, run a cover 1 or go cover 4 or be able to, bring an overload blitz or whatever the case may be. So I think that like what you're just seeing is you're seeing a lot more scheme flexibility because they're getting guys that are able to execute their jobs better than we've had last year.
And the depth is a lot better. Let's talk about the defensive end. I think it was Portland Timbers made this point. Just look at the corners for a second here. Now, you've got last year you had Demetrius Freeney and the Spitter as your backup corners, or they were starting, whatever. Now you've got guys like a Dansby. You've got guys like a Garnes. You've got an MGK. You've got a Cole. And across the line, and, even at the running back position, it's just a deeper team. And I think that's something, too, that you got to give them a lot of credit on because I didn't, a lot of these guys were not super, high-end names, but they've been really, really good. And Gavin Hunter, as Adaptable Fox has said, has been absolutely awesome.
Yeah, I mean, the secondary as a whole has been really impressive. And it's funny because, I was talking about it in the chat maybe a month ago, and I was saying Javion Cole is arguably the most important person on defense this year. What I meant by that was we needed to have the depth in the cornerback room so that we didn't just have a glaring hole. And that was kind of the biggest question is MGK. I think there's sometimes a question in terms of what MGK were you going to get last year? There's kind of questions about his health, but all in all, you could kind of pencil him in as CB1 and just kind of run with it.
Right.
The big question was, okay, are you going to get in a situation where, especially early on in the season when we knew Stoops was going to be there, can you realistically go nickel, right? Can teams just spread you out and take advantage of you because you don't have that second cornerback and you don't have a nickel defender? And that has been completely wiped away.
Right.
I'm very excited to see which ways they can use Gavin Hunter now that Stoops is going to be back full time. I'm very excited to kind of see how much more freedom that gives somebody like Dalton Johnson to play in the box and almost kind of be that quasi, hybrid linebacker type. And so I think this week is actually going to be a very interesting week for that, given the type of personnel that Iowa State runs. You're going to see a lot of 12 personnel. They love to just throw it to their running backs and their tight ends. This is a game where, if we can have security across the other parts of the secondary and Dalton can play with his nose, in the box, that really kind of kneecaps their game, a good amount.
And see, I like Rocco Becht. I think he's solid, but when I look at the receivers, when I look at him, if Arizona gets up 320 yards passing, to tight ends and to running backs and stuff, I guess it just is what it is. I don't look at the running game though, and again, I think he's solid. But I look at TCU or a team like that, and I'm like, man, that's a team that can spread you out. You're going to have to be ready for that. I mean, heck, we saw that firsthand last year. Whereas I look at Iowa State, and I just don't get that same vibe. I think it's far more of a methodical, we're going to run the ball, we're going to go to the tight end, et cetera, et cetera. But I don't look at it and say, man, they could really blow the top off of our defense here or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, like I think Scheer said it best, where they look like a Big Ten team.
Yeah,
right. Like this is not your prototypical Big 12 team. It's going to be a lot of 12, 13 personnel. I mean, their wide receivers, like on the year, I don't think a single wide receiver has more than 10 catches.
Yeah.
And, like, as a reminder, they've played 4 games already.
They played 4 games.
Right. So, like, they really haven't been able to get the wide receiver room open. Now, with that said, I think that Rocco Becht as a passer does 2 things really well. I think he operates really well within an RPO system, right? And so when you have slips, when you've got pops, when you've got glance routes that you're using as a tool of your running game, I think that that's where he can excel. And I think that's where, they're using a lot of their tight ends. I think the other thing he does well is he's not a mobile quarterback from the perspective that he's going to scramble for 20 yards, but he can get outside the pocket and he can throw on the run pretty well. And so that's where I think it's going to be even more important on the secondary where, if you can get that pass rush and you can get him out of the pocket, cornerbacks are going to have to defend for the entire play, in a scramble drill situation. And so that's the thing that worries me a little bit. But I think this is a game where if you can impose your will in the trenches, both our offensive line against their defensive line and our defensive line against their offensive line, I think that that's where you kind of win the game here.
Right. Let's talk about the offensive and defensive line. Arizona's a lot bigger when it comes to that. Now, I think we're going to find out, are they a lot better? We'll find that out. But you go into that, and that's not something where, record for most consecutive minutes of sports talk. This is true. We bring on somebody smarter than us, and we talk sports. But no, dude, you're amazing. Like like the comments are saying, dude, your depth of knowledge is awesome. But you look at it though, and you're like, all right, cool. Like, we're going to find out how is this line, especially on the edges. I actually, like I said, from day one, I'm more than okay with the interior line, to be honest with you. I think that, it's at the tackle spots though, where I'm like, I still have a lot of question marks. Obviously Rhino is, we've talked about Rhino ad nauseum. He's got a lot of talent, but he's got to clean things up. And then you look at it there, you got Buchanan on the other end, you got Bounds. This to me is really a game where I think we're going to find out what Arizona has on the offensive line as well. And again, Iowa State's got one of the best defensive tackles in the country, but it's a solid team across the board. I think we're going to find out a lot about Arizona's O-line here.
Yeah, what scares me about the O-line, obviously, is the right tackle situation. And it's not just because Rhino has not looked to what we think he's capable of. And it's not just because of the holding penalties, but like, I don't feel great about who our swing tackle is right now.
No.
Tristan Downs did not look good against Hawaii. And what I think people often miss is that when you have a problem at tackle, it really limits your ability to get vertical, right? Yeah. Because the entire, from an offensive pass protection perspective, you're looking at 5 or 7 step drops when you're trying to get vertical and you're trying to take the top off the defense. Rhino just doesn't look like he has the lateral mobility to get outside and to run ends, around the quarterback. And so if you have that, you got to stick to a lot more of a short and intermediate passing game. And that just kind of makes your offense a little bit more one-dimensional. Now, with that said, you got guys like, Javen Watley, and you've got, Chris Hunter's of the world. And like, I think we've got a lot of playmakers that you can get them the ball in space and they can do things with it. But I would love to be able to take the, top off the offense off the defense just once or twice a game to free everything else up.
Do you think Rhino, and again, I get it, but it's what you have from a personnel perspective. Do you think Rhino should be moved into? By the way, I think you are a cure to my. Hey, by the way, we need to be very clear about something. I have ADHD, not ADD. It's there. You're missing the H. So if you're going to accuse me of it, at least get it right. But no, Mr. Tyler Warden's awesome because he comes in here and he's talking in-depth stuff. Very, very good. Let me ask you this though, Mr. Tyler Warden. I ask you this so I can ask you that. Would Rhino ideally be better inside?
I think he has the frame that projects more as a tackle. I don't.
Does he have the footwork? Does he have the footwork?
Yeah, that's where it really comes down to it. Is do you have the footwork and do you have the kind of lateral mobility that allows you to play a tackle? Because like that's the solution for a lot of tackles is, well, let's put them in a box, right? Let's put a guy on each side of them, and really now you just have to block in a phone booth. The problem is, I mean, this is quite frankly a pandemic at every level of football right now. Is there are not enough tackles. There are too many guards. Right.
Because the guard's an easier position to play.
It's an easier position to play. And like you at guard, you don't have to have the length necessarily that you have to have when you're at tackle. So I think the problem is when you have somebody like Rhino, who has the ability to play tackle. We felt comfortable playing tackle last year. He's got the length. He's got the ability to, exert leverage. I think it's something that you kind of just got to figure out what the missing piece is. I think there's ways that you can help him out though. Right. So this is where the loss of somebody like Tyler Powell hurts a lot, because what's an antidote to kind of getting beat off the edge? We'll put Tyler Powell next to him, chip the end, every single time and get him out and, into the flat. Where somebody, that's where I think we could see a lot more of Sam Olsen, and kind of either, an off the line tackle or an inline tackle that at least just puts a body in front of an end and helps Rhino out a little bit. I think that's where you'd probably see more help schematically.
From a coaching perspective, Mr. Tyler Warden, what have you seen from Seth Daggy this year? Obviously, last year, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I'm some expert on it, but last year, the best way I could put it is that's not what offense is supposed to look like. What have you seen from Seth Daggy this year so far, and what would you like to see more of?
Well, I think they're just playing complementary football. Not only, offense, defense, but just on the offensive side of the ball. Like the ability to get the running game going, I think is one of the more understated parts of football, right? Because we've been able to get Ishmael Mahdi going, because we've been able to get Quincy Craig going, it just forces a numbers disadvantage for the defense, right? Because you got to put more people into the box in order to defend against that. And that just frees everything up from, a passing game perspective. So I think what you're just really seeing is you're seeing a commitment to the run. You got rid of a lot of the dumb things that we all hated, like the super delayed handoff.
Let me ask you this. Would you even run that at Chaparral?
I mean, we have an outside zone concept. I think every team
But you're not running it 12 times a game, though, when it's not working.
Well, no, I mean, you run outside zone, but it's the idea behind outside zone is get the ball out there so that you can set up the cutback. Right. The problem was last year it was, hey, we're going to take 20 seconds to hand the ball off, and now there is no lane to cut back. And so, it was, I don't really understand what the idea behind that was. But, like I said, we've been able to get the running game going. That's freed Noah up a lot, in terms of being able to be himself. I think that Noah, the first couple of games didn't look as crisp as, the first game didn't look as crisp as we wanted. Weber State looked phenomenal. But he is, I'm trying to make sure I say this, in a nice way. We know what Noah is, right? Mm-hmm. Noah is not going to be the type of guy, that's going to stand in there and just sling it a la Patrick Mahomes. Right. I think that where Noah succeeds is playing within a scheme. He succeeds in being able to get outside of the pocket and, use his feet as a weapon. I think that's an understated part of his game. And so I think that they're just, again, it's kind of what we're seeing defensively. They're just playing more to the strengths of what we have as a team.
All right. We got, now there's an elephant in the room that we have to discuss here. But first, let's get a few reads in here. I think we got our last reads in here. Cody's back. What do we got, Cody? Talk to me. Oh, Baggins. Now, if you're a coach, if you're a up and coming coach at Scottsdale Chaparral, there is absolutely no reason not to make it to Baggins. Mr. Tyler Warden has made it to Baggins. He has real timed it as well. Check it out. Now, Baggins, did you use the code the AZ12 for 15% off? Don't ask for the Dennis Walsh special. Don't need any of that. Text Baggins at 877-797 for special deals. Excuse me, look at this sandwich right here. Look how good this stuff looks. All food made in Houghton Daily. And I will say this, Mr. Tyler Warden, when you got your food, you also got a chocolate chip cookie with it, right?
Yes, I did. And the pasta salad. Pasta salad's very good.
Pasta salad is very good. It's healthy. It tastes good. It looks good. Be better. Help yourself out. Get to Baggins.
How healthy it is.
Well, yeah.
It's just pasta and oil. I don't think it's that healthy, but it's good.
Yeah, but it's true. But the bread's probably healthy. How about that? And, I'm trying here. All right, use code AZ12 for 15% off. Check it out. We love Baggins. Get the bag. Get the bag. All right, what else we got, Cody? Talk to me. All right, Longview. Now, I will endorse Mr. Tyler Warden. I'm not going to endorse Andre Veras, though. Not under any circumstances. I will endorse Tyler Warden as our next offensive coordinator at AZ12 Prep and probably the head coach in waiting. Now, I will highly recommend Andre Veras, though. Give him a call at 520-325-3456 and reference the AZ12 podcast for a complimentary initial meeting and check us out. Now, he's not like Joseph, where Joseph only works with high-end clients. He will help you build a foundation and, again, create a safety net with life insurance and planning for the road ahead. Check it out. Longview for everyone, not just the high-end clients. Or is that it? Oh, yeah. All right. Now I'm going to be going to the Mooney team lately. Show me the Mooney. Zach Mooney. Tag or scan this QR code. I'm going to be going there. There, you can get you can do a lot of kind. You can do a home equity loan, a refinance. You can do a bunch of different things. Take your shot with the Mooney team. Again, helps out Tucson high school area basketball. NovaAZLoans.com. 520-230-5599. Again, this is the guy that got the biggest building in the city for a reason. Check it out, the Nova Home Loan, the Mooney team. Go there and use code or tell them that Mike Luke sent you. It'll help you out. That's how good it is. Now, all right. That's actually a very good idea. We got Matthew Tice just said, we need Tyler Warden to break down some film from last week's game next.
I'm watching more film right now than I could possibly imagine.
And you love every minute of it.
I am loving every minute of it, but oh my God, I did not think I could watch this much football film. It's like hours and hours every week. So it's been fun.
Yeah, P-Hoff, I'm going to be there at 2:00, so maybe I will. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, now, all right, Chuba. He is a larger than life personality here for the U of A. He played pretty well last game. We got to say there, is Chuba on the offensive line? Is this a thing now, Mr. Tyler Warden?
I think so.
Yeah.
I didn't see anything against Kansas State. And granted, like I was watching a TV copy, the day after, but I didn't see anything that would kind of make you think otherwise. Obviously I was somewhat tongue-in-cheek, joking in the offseason that Chuba's going to be all Big 12, first or second team.
Chuba in space.
I think a lot of times, like, we forget the size advantages or the size disadvantages that one team has when we see it on TV. Like, he's 350 pounds, right? And you're putting him in the phone book and you're saying, block the guy in front of you. He was able to climb up to the second level a lot better than I was kind of expecting too. And a lot of those big runs that, Mahdi had it was Mahdi last game, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that you got to remember, he was an offensive lineman.
Right.
They didn't move him to defensive, line until 2 or 3 years ago. Right. So I'm very encouraged by what I'm seeing. I think that he is the more kind of natural fit at that position. Now, with that said, they've changed up the offensive line every week, so who knows what we get. But I've been very encouraged by it.
Yeah, I've been encouraged by it as well. And like you said, the run blocking has been awesome. Now, Joseph takes a massive L because Joseph was saying that Ishmael Mahdi does nothing for him. This is where I got to give Alonzo Carter a lot of credit, too. I mean, Joseph's an idiot, obviously, when it comes to that. But you look at it, Ishmael Mahdi, he was a monster. He salted that game away against Kansas State, obviously. And then Quincy Craig, and this is where it really kind of comes into, running back evals. This is a dude that rushed for like 400 yards at Portland State. But Alonzo Carter said that's the kind of guy that I want in my backfield right there. And they made it work. They made it work flawlessly. The running game's been awesome, and they've been out without their starter, Tyler Warden.
Yeah, that's the funny thing about that is like we haven't seen Ricino like really explode yet. And I think this is a game where like the from a matchup perspective, it just kind of more favors Ricino in my opinion than it does the other two. But I mean, you're getting this type of production offensively, and you're doing it with your second and third guys. I mean, like Zoe was kind of the home run, assistant hire that Brennan brought in, not only from a recruiting perspective and like what he does.
He's big time. Zoe's got a big time feel to him.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason he's like extremely respected within the college football ranks. And sometimes you just get that. Sometimes you got an assistant coach on the staff that you're like, they know what they're doing. They're going to have it taken care of. The running game's been phenomenal. I think that like all three of them each bring a unique thing that I think allows us to exploit matchups. Kind of similar to what you see with Iowa State, where Abu Sama and Carson Hansen are very different running backs. So if you need to lean on one more in one game or lean on the other, you can do that. I think that's what you have with this Arizona backfield.
What I like too, and I think we're gonna find out a lot about the receivers. We've talked about all week. I don't really worry about much about the receivers because I think we've at least I saw enough in camp, but you could say that we thought that with Jeremiah Patterson too. So take it for what it's worth. But this would be a nice game for the receivers to really make some plays. I think we saw what Watley can do. Again, I get what it was against, but Watley's fast. Watley can make people miss. Just don't drop the ball and you're going to be okay. But then you look at it, Hunter, Wysong, Hudson. This is going to be an interesting game because, to really see where Noah kind of spreads it around because there's a lot of talent there.
Yeah, and sometimes it's so weird that it works like this, but sometimes wide receiver rooms, they get the drops for a game.
Right.
Like it's just you don't really know what it is, and maybe as a focus or whatever. But like they're contagious, and I think that's kind of what you saw. But we also saw what they were capable of doing against Weber State, right? It's not a room that I'm concerned about. Wysong has yet to kind of really explode. The last time he really kind of went off was against us last year.
Yeah, we help guys. We generally help in those situations.
At least the last time he went off, for Arizona or in an Arizona capacity. But it's not a room that I'm too concerned with. I am starting to get a little bit nervous about the tight end room. Yeah. I think Sam Olsen, he is what he is at this point.
He's okay.
I think he's serviceable in some situations. He's not. Kean, obviously we know that the talent's there. You have to wonder how much of it is injury, how much of it is confidence, how much of it is scheme,
right?
Whatever the case may be there. But I think the Tyler Powell injury kind of really, really hampers that. But it's not, from a pass catching perspective, I'm not too worried about that unit.
Can we before we sign off, can we get a prediction from Mr. Tyler Warden, the great Mr. Tyler Warden?
Yeah.
Are you going to back the A?
I'm going to back the A. I think it's going to be a good game. I'm going to start by saying that. Like, I think that this is going to be one of the better Big 12 games that you see this year.
Right.
I'm going to go 24. Well,
do it.
They don't have a kicker. See, I think
that helps.
That is a major, major aspect of this game. And when we're talking about the advantage in the trenches, like if you can put them in a situation where it's 3rd and 8 and you're able to get a stop and now they're looking at 4th and 8 and they're just on the cusp of field goal range or something like that, it completely changes the script.
Right.
When you've got a guy that hits 63 yarders and now you don't have that guy, it really kind of changes things. It's a huge factor in my opinion. I'm going to go 27-24.
Good guys. All right, back the A. Again, I'm back in the A as well. I'm going to get that later in the week, though. Mr. Tyler Warden, you are the man. Thank you very much for pinch hitting. I like that idea. We should have Tyler Warden's own segment where every week he comes on, he talks about what he saw, and he gets the in-depth, the granular takes on things.
Well, we got to get things going, from an offensive perspective at Chaparral first. But once we get that thing humming again and I free up some time,
we'll do it. All right, everybody root for Chaparral. That means more Tyler Warden then at that point then. All right, everybody else also go to Little Caesars. Code 15 off 20, 15% off any $20 or more purchase. Code LCFREECC, free crazy combo with any pizza purchase. Check it out. All right. We're going to be back with you tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Mr. Tyler Warden, you are the man. Very much appreciate you. Thank you, sir.
Appreciate you, Mike.
Okay. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks for listening to the AZ12 podcast.